Yes, hopefully we will be able to welcome also more participants. But for the time being, I would like to open this session, this site event at the Phiweek 2021. My name is Daniela Dobreva-Nielsen from AZO, Space of Innovation. And as I already mentioned, I'm stepping in for my colleague Ines Kühnert, who unfortunately fell ill shortly prior to this event. But we are very pleased to have you all on board, and of course to have all our participants on board for this exciting, memorable session for the 10th anniversary of Copernicus Masters. We have put together an interesting session for you, and we are very pleased to welcome one of our winners from the previous years for the presentation, and especially excited to hear their developments and what they have been doing, and how their applications and companies have developed since they joined and won prizes in Copernicus Masters. At the end of the day, the Copernicus Masters was an initiative started at the time when no Sentinels was in orbit, so it's like quite a lot of time, 10 years. For before we start, I just want to make an official announcement that this session will be recorded. And if any of you have comments on this, please contact us afterwards. So as the first speaker, I'm very pleased to welcome our Managing Director of AZO, Thorsten Rudolph, who is one of the founder of Copernicus Masters, and together with Isa. And I'm very pleased to welcome Thorsten. Thorsten, the floor is yours. I hope the presentation can be seen, right? Just a second. Hello? Can the presentation be seen? So, Thorsten, can you please?
It's up to me?
It's up to you, yes.
Yeah, Daniela, thanks a lot, dear colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome also from my side. And welcome to the side event at the Phiweek, devoted to the 10th anniversary of the Copernicus Masters. My name is Thorsten Rudolph. I'm Managing Director of AZO, and we are managing the Copernicus Masters on behalf of the European Space Agency since 2011. In 2010, we laid the foundations for Copernicus Masters with the former director of ESA ESRIN, Volker Liebig, and the current Director General of ESA, Josef Aschbacher. The aim was to launch a European innovation network for the commercialization of Earth observation, and with the main goal to create the development of new Earth observation services and the creation of new ventures in the downstream sector. At the time, we could not imagine that we would be able to maintain this innovation network on behalf of ESA ESRIN for the next 10 years. This was really a surprise for us, but we quickly realized the great potential of Earth observation in almost all industrial sectors, and that this would also open up a new field of activity for European startup companies. Since the launch of the Copernicus Masters, exactly 5,049 participants from more than 100 countries presented their applications and business cases to the partners and experts of the competition: programmers, engineers, business analysts, geoscientists from universities, research institutes, and companies are recognizing Earth observation as an endless source of data for applications that benefit our home planet. Cloud computing, machine learning, and artificial intelligence support the objective to efficiently and meaningfully process the large amount of digital data. Today, I can say thanks to our dedicated partners who have hosted topic-specific challenges, which we could offer. Through this, we could offer a total prize pool of 6.2 million euro in the recent years. Partners like the German Aerospace Center DLR, T-Systems, Claudeo, BMW, CGI, the European Space Imaging, Planet, BayWa, Airbus, or BMWi also made the Copernicus Masters Awards ceremony a yearly highlight for more than 4,000 guests. AZO has conducted a survey of all Copernicus Masters participants from the last 9 years, and the top 100 are listed on the slide. Most of these companies were in the startup phase when they entered the competition, and with the support of our European partner network, they have established themselves in the various upstream, midstream, and downstream segments of the global Earth observation market. A large number of governmental and industrial customers, for example, in agriculture, energy, oil and gas, telecommunications, aviation, maritime industries, or transport and logistics, benefit from this growing number of Earth observation service providers. These services are used to understand and devise measures to address important global issues such as climate change, disaster management, disease outbreak, food security, or air quality, to name only a few. And the Earth observation industry is evolving with some 25,000 small satellites to be launched in the next few years, stimulated by the demand from commercial Earth observation and communication constellations with significant investments from the venture capital market. New small satellite Earth observation ventures largely target global markets and have a clear business model generating revenues from the data and services provided as soon as the satellites are in orbit. And the increase in number of satellites act as the drivers also for the space launch service market growth, which is projected to reach $31 billion by 2026. Since 2014 alone, around 86 small satellite launcher projects have been started by companies worldwide to carry payloads of up to 1,000 kilograms into orbit. Further analysis of these top 100 Copernicus Masters companies based on the business information platform Crunchbase has revealed the following. These companies have created more than 2,700 new jobs with an annual turnover of 164 million euro. Together, these companies have raised 249 million in venture capital in the last few years. And as you can see in the table at the top right of this slide, most of the risk capital was invested in Earth observation sectors like small satellite constellations and payloads, agriculture and forestry, as well as space logistics and small satellite launchers. The new ventures that went through the Copernicus Masters received the highest investment from the previous slide include Gamaya from Switzerland, D-Orbit from Italy, Maneric and ESA Aerospace from Bavaria, Germany, or Razortech from the UK. However, the new space industry is still a relatively young sector in the Earth observation domain with a high growth potential. But it is now time for us in Europe to establish appropriate financing structures to make the new space sector competitive in the face of international competition. And we all know, and as Copernicus Masters show every year, the group has all the entrepreneurial talents needed for future investments. Finally, let me present two Copernicus Masters success stories from the top 100 list. The first T-Systems challenge winner from Copernicus Masters 2011 was EarthCast, a company from Canada, proposing the first full-color HD camera for video streaming of Earth from space. The cameras were launched in November 2013 on the Progress cargo spacecraft from Baikonur, which docked with the International Space Station on November 2013. The cameras constantly roll as the ISS circles the world 16 times a day. They captured video and imagery below the station's orbit, where approximately 90% of the world's population lives. And another Copernicus Master success story from the top 100 list, the FS-CAT FISAT-1, the winner of the ESA Small Satellite Challenge and the overall prize of the Copernicus Masters 2017. FISAT was developed on behalf of ESA by a consortium of European companies and institutes, including the University Politécnica de Catalunya in Spain. The mission formed by a constellation of 2 shoebox-sized CubeSats launched from Europe's spaceport in French Guyana on September 3rd, collects an enormous amount of measurement data, for example, soil moisture, sea ice extent, and sea ice thickness, and providing complementary data to the Sentinel-1 missions. Today, the international network of the Copernicus Masters consists of 89 international partners from 32 countries, offering their resources to have startup companies and innovations from research and industry to achieve a breakthrough with their solution. We are very proud that today we have an incredible network of research institutions, space agencies, European institutions and ministries, industrial partners, banks and venture capitalists, clusters and technology parks, and more than 50 business incubators to support innovators all across Europe. The entire EZO team has been working hard also this year to ensure that the Copernicus Masters took place in times of Corona. We were able to attract 29 prize partners from industry, research institutions, ministries, and space clusters from all over Europe. That led to an outstanding prize pool to support innovation and entrepreneurship along the entire Earth observation value chain. The total prize pool this year amounts to around 837,000 euros, which will be distributed amongst the best 50 participants of the innovation competitions. Of this amount, 92,000 euros will be awarded as cash prizes. Another 325,000 is available in form of data vouchers to access Earth observation data from the Copernicus program or the data warehouses of our partners. And the in-kind support to winners facilitated by them amounts to 420,000 euro. And at the end of this presentation, I want to express my thanks to the European Space Agency for their commitment over the last 10 years. And I'm also very thankful to all our partner network and the international experts who evaluated all submitted applications in all these years. We soon come to the annual highlight of this year's Copernicus Masters, and we are all excited to hear who will bring the attractive awards from this year home. And but today, let's celebrate the 10th anniversary with some of our prominent former Copernicus Masters winners and hear what they have to share with us. And with these words, I give back to Daniela. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If you can, has to be mute. Yes. Thank you very much, Thorsten, for this very good overview and going back into the past and also showing a lot of exciting results. We would like to continue our initial keynotes with the welcome from Anna Borzykowska from ESA. Anna is part of the Copernicus Innovation Office, and she has of the ESA Copernicus office, and we have the pleasure to work very closely with her for this year's competition. And Anna, unfortunately, balancing a couple of events in the meantime, cannot cannot join us at this very moment, but I hope that she will join a bit later for the Q&A session. So we have prepared a short video from her. So I would like to play this for you.
Daniela, maybe it's just, no, we don't hear her.
Yes, Sabrina, maybe you can help out here because I thought that, or we thought that it will be working like this. Is there something special? Thank you very much, Gunther.
You can share directly the multimedia content. If you have this video on a website or directly on your PC, you can just share the multimedia content.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're
So,
welcome.
so if I share, where can I share it?
Share.
Can you hear it live?
Yes, I can hear you, Daniela. If you go on the top menu of the WebEx tool, you have an option called Share Multimedia.
I'm just trying to, where? Aha, Share Multimedia, yes.
If you have the URL of the video, otherwise you can click on Share Content and you just click on the video presentation.
On the file?
Yes, on the file directly.
Okay, just a second. If you give me 1 second, I apologize for the guests. I was not aware that this is not possible. Just a second. So it should be shared the whole file, right?
The whole file, please.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we'll be with you in a second. We're almost there. Let me have a look now if it can be done. Yes, so I hope. Okay, what happened? Can you hear something?
Not yet.
Oh, this file, oh God. Is there another way to do it? The file has not been the file. So share multimedia, right?
Yes. Depends if this video was on a web browser.
Yeah, this video is a file. Is a file to be shared. It's not on a web browser.
Okay. So on the share content option, if you can change share content and you choose file instead, and you.
This is what I did in the beginning. Let me try again. File, and then it says that the file is not supported.
This is something new because normally for WebEx, audio and video file are supported.
So what I would suggest, not to waste the time, I would suggest we go forward, and I really hope that Anna will be with us shortly, so she will be able to share with us her thoughts. I'm sorry about this. We unfortunately didn't have the possibility to test earlier, but thank you very much, Sabrina. It's a bit unfortunate, but I'm sure Anna will share a bit later. You mentioned that she will be coming, right?
Yes, indeed.
Wonderful. Okay, but then let's go ahead with our program. So I'm very pleased to welcome also Günther Schreier from DLR. DLR was the founding partner of Copernicus Masters, and we're very happy that you're with us today, Günther. Welcome. You personally have been supporting the competition from the very beginning, right?
That's correct, Daniela, and thank you for me taking part of this Copernicus Masters event. Also, as you mentioned, on a short notice, due to some challenges in the agenda of your place. And as you mentioned, like ESA, DLR is a founding member of Copernicus Masters, so we are participating since the last 10 years. And in the last 10 years, we have really witnessed a really astonishing development in Earth observation, in Earth observation application and new businesses. And just on a personal side, let me share some thoughts with you on what has been developed so far in the years of Earth observation since 2011. I mean, when in 2011 the masters started, Thorsten already mentioned this. We had an ambitious European Earth observation program, which, by the way, at 2011 was called GMES, global. My God, I've forgotten it. It's the global monitoring for environment and security, or security, as some mentioned. So it was just in the next year, 2012, when we changed to Copernicus, to the famous European astronomer. So again, in 2011, we had an ambitious program, but no satellites yet. We had no proof that the 6 satellite series of Sentinel, which are now in orbit, are really going to work fine. Would we have launch failures? Would the instruments or the satellites work as specified? Would they work for the lifetime they have been constructed? Yes, they are doing. Currently, we have all the satellites in orbit. And as of now, Sentinel-1A, launched in April 2014, 3 years after the inauguration of the Masters, has reached its design lifetime of 7 years. So they're even performing better. And as I heard from ESA Engineering and Mission Control, they might even live for another 7 years. So the Sentinels, the space segment, is absolutely fine. What we also have 10 years ago, the entire environment, we had only a very, very few really commercial high-resolution satellites. We just had, and DLR was part of this, embarking this to Europe with European space imaging. We had the Iconos satellite, an US-American satellite with just 50 centimeters or 1 meter resolution. We had, on the European side, we had Spot Image with optical resolution, the early Pleiad. We had on the radar side, TerraSign, Cosmos Skymet. But this was all. They have been created by big industrial companies in partnership with governmental money, private-public partnership, or the big military as a customer, to say. Means that 10 years ago, we had practically no commercial startups in Earth observation missions. No spin-ups of universities or other companies who dare to say, let's build an Earth observation satellite or even build a constellation of satellites and let's compete internationally with the big established companies in this domain, or cooperate possibly in this domain. Though I have to mention there was also from my history, and I was a little bit involved peripherally, one kind and small exception, the German Rapid Eye mission. So you can say Rapid Eye was at the forefront at entrepreneurship in Earth observation commercial systems, founded in 1998, launched in 2008. And maybe it was too early for Rapid Eye, for the business. It was then taken over after bankruptcy by another company and finally by Planet. So most probably Rapid Eye was too early for this business. However, it was very successful in this case. Planet, I mentioned Planet, who has taken over Rapid Eye, started also as a startup. Meanwhile, is on the forefront of the big commercial players on Earth observation. And as recent news says, Planet is going to the New York Stock Exchange in a couple of days, or maybe they have already done so. There is another important issue which has changed in the last 10 years. It's about money, it's about finance. Meanwhile, you can attract investors, risk capital. 10 years ago, if you go to a bank, 10 or longer times ago, if you go to a bank and say, I have a crazy idea of launching satellites, they say, you are crazy, forget about it. You're coming from university, how can you dare to ask us? Now, meanwhile, banks and investors are happy to invest in risk capital with space-based business. So this has also changed. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's more easier now to attract finance and to get capital for a startup rather than 10 years ago when we started this competition. A further big breakthrough was about an enabler for business, for new ideas, was about digitization and cloudification of the entire value chain. Earth observation has gone digital. We have now web portals, cloud platforms, big data, driven by artificial intelligence and machine learning. This has also changed dramatically in the last 10 years. So meanwhile, and compared to 10 years ago, we have meanwhile a couple of European players and international players who operate really startup Earth observation systems. I only mentioned like in orbit ICE-Eye of Finland, who challenge the big industrial players in X-band radar. We have others to come and internationally to come. And we have even more and more participants and contestants for the Copernicus Masters Prize who say, I like to go to the value chain with all the digital data on hand, with all the Copernicus data, free and open data, with the new commercial missions. So this has really changed from the last 10 years since we inaugurated the Copernicus Masters contest. So I guess some people say we're living in a golden time of Earth observation, of satellite, of space business. Maybe we are. But of course, gold rush has always its downsides. So be aware of the downsides of a gold rush area. But I think most of the startups which we'll present here and the winners following my presentation, my short speech, know about the challenges, know about the pitfalls, and have maybe also experienced their downs besides the ups in realizing their business. So I'm very happy to be part of this game and to be part of this contest. And I'm looking ahead for the presentation of the winners of the last year's prize. Thank you very much, Daniela.
Thank you very much, Günther. I would like to take on some of your comments for the Q&A session later on, because it will be very interesting to hear from our winners that developed further their ideas, what will be their opinion on some of your topic that you just raised. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much also on behalf of AZTOF for the support of DLI and your personal support and your whole team for Copernicus Masters. This has been always a pleasure to work with you and to support new ideas. Thank you very much. Now we continue in the next with our presentations of our winners. We would like to start with Peter Pedal from Maptyler, who with his idea back then won the Airbus Multi-Data Challenge 2018, quite a lot of time. We have been following his work also and supporting his work as similar to the work of some of the other participants today, and supporting his work on, I made you a presenter, by the way, Peter, through other supporting mechanisms like the Copernicus Accelerator and other initiatives that we have been doing. So we have been following the development of Maptyler, but I'm very excited to share and to hear today what is the newest and how far you've gotten. Please, Peter, the stage is yours. Can you share your presentation? I did make you a presenter.
Hi, I'm Peter. I work with my team on Maptyler, an alternative to Google Maps API powered by Copernicus Open Data. Our street and satellite maps have worldwide coverage, are ads-free, protect the privacy of users, and can run offline. The maps are customized by the companies who use them in their websites and mobile apps with open source APIs. We've built a computer cluster which processes petabytes of satellite and aerial imagery. Save up to 80% of costs by using maps and software made by Maptyler team.
So this has been how we pitched the Copernicus Masters 3 years ago, in fact, and it has been a ride. Something what has started as 2017 project of 2 students at Swiss University has now turned into something what more than 300 million users see every month. So we are providing maps which 300 million people interact with every month, and we grow from 2 students to about 30 people in 5 countries. It all started through the Copernicus Masters, so I'm very glad for our entrance into the space sector through this competition, and we have also benefited from the ESA big participation and Copernicus incubation, where we have received a great support for the business development of the different areas from marketing and sales. And in fact, now we are creating an alternative to those maps, which a lot of the people use every day. But with us, you can save quite a lot of money and get new benefits. MapTyler provides the entire platform for developing mapping applications. So we target developers of web and mobile applications who wants to visualize their own data and create applications for their customers. Typically, our customers are companies and institutions, so we are B2B who needs maps in their products. Why? What's wrong with Google Maps, right? They don't allow you to really process your own business data the same way they process their data. So if you have larger amount of data and you want to integrate your own business logic with the maps closely, you can't do that with Google Maps APIs. You can do that with our technology. In the same moment, the brand identity, people recognize what maps are used. The ability to integrate very closely the maps with the products, even redistributed offline or redistribute completely the mapping parts and analysis created out of the maps with your product. Personalized for every single customer, so a trick which Google is doing. But you can do that now as well if you are a business using MapTyler Maps. And in the same moment, no ads, security and privacy, and saved cost. So now if you buy a train ticket in Switzerland, or you check weather forecast in Germany, or interact with an infotainment system in an airplane, you in fact interact with our maps. This is an example from the Swiss purchasing of the tickets. There are also applications for store locations, assets tracking of packages, results of the real estate, or now recently Zeit the app used our maps to present results of the votes in Germany in the analytics. And we have also other really cool applications, such as this is a terrain from Copernicus data, start with artificial objects to create a game environment where people can walk inside of virtual worlds created from these data. Another applications which we have done for our clients is visualizations of the flows and scientific data from the climate and atmospheric effects. So if you want to develop your own kind of windy style visualizations, we have tools and JavaScript libraries which runs in a browser, and you can zoom in and interact with these tools, including volumetric data and showing radar data in this case, but it can be any other scientific data from the atmosphere at different elevations and different time, with ability to filter inside of a web browser and show animation in time. All of that without installing any software. So if you really want to have maps in your applications, with us, you can connect your own data and you received street and satellite maps of the entire world and a terrain data. In fact, all created from the open data sources from OpenStreetMap, but terrain is from a Copernicus program. We have Sentinel-2 based cloudless satellite layers, and also land cover and other data sources in our maps comes from a Copernicus program. In fact, we spent 2 years now on creating beautiful cloudless data set of the entire world, where we combine the Sentinel-2 data with open data aerial imagery, which seamlessly switch from one to another. And you can download this data from us, use it for your internal processing, for machine learning. And this data, for example, are now in an infotainment system in private jets, which Elon Musk has as well. So they see the Copernicus data and beautiful aerial imagery on the infotainment screen in these airplanes. To consume the data from us, we operate cloud hosting infrastructure worldwide, which has been able to sustain peaks of the traffic, very high peaks of the traffic, and you can quite easily use it from the API endpoints from us. The developers receive a set of open source SDKs and APIs to develop the web applications. There are examples, so if you go to our website, it's really an alternative to what you get from Google. There are also tools for the designers, so the map can be customized, and the developers can reuse open source SDK called MapLibre now, released and co-developed together with Amazon and Facebook teams. So something pretty exciting as well. We have been lucky to attract a large number of customers, including big names, and that's what brings the large number of users and people who interact with our maps, because our maps can be seen in many applications of these companies. So once you start to work on your next mapping project, or if you need a maps to give your data a context, geographical context, just visit maptyler.com. I'm really glad for the support we have received from the Copernicus program, and also for the award Copernicus Masters, which was at the beginning of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. Very exciting. A lot of application fields, very diverse, and I feel that this enormous work effort that you've done hasn't really made you look older if you compare your video from 3 years ago. So well done. Very good. And congratulations on your success, of course. Now it cannot be seen. No, but thank you very much. And also thank you on behalf of Copernicus Masters and all our partners for your positive feedback. We're very pleased to hear, and I'm sure we will discuss it later. Thank you very much. So I would like to, to give the floor to Tryggvi Stevenson. He came with Swami. I hope, Tryggvi, you can share your presentation. I just made you a presenter. The ESA EU Future Challenge 2018 was won by Swami. So let's hear what Tryggvi has to share with us since then.
Yes, hello, thank you. Yeah, my name is Tryggvi. I hope you have the full screen shared now.
Yeah, perfect. It looks well. It looks good.
All right, great. Yeah, so yeah, my name is Tryggvi, and I'm currently the CTO of the company, company Swami, that we founded in 2013. So we've been doing it for quite some time, but it just started as like a full-time job in 2015, for me at least. Myself, I have a background in mechanical engineering, and we basically started off with building drones. That was maybe our initial kind of start, but then we got to learn more about what remote sensing with new people joining the company, and just soon thereafter we put all our focus in remote sensing, using drones and satellite data as well. So, and what we do at Swami is that we basically help our clients to understand and measure their environment, basically focusing on the infrastructure itself, both like the aging infrastructure, also the increased effect of global warming and more severe weathers. But last but not least is also that we really want to help in like the first step in actually improving the environment for companies is to actually understand and be able to quantify how the environment in their area or like around their area is changing. The same for like biodiversity. And we are this kind of enabler to provide transparent data, so our customers can achieve their sustainability goals. And we also want to accelerate the time that from the time something happens until the time they realize something is wrong in their area. And our approach in this is that like we are using both satellite data and drones together, providing best of both worlds to acquire better data about the Earth and the infrastructure. So we process a large amount of unstructured data and extract relevant information from it. And we also provide like a platform to visualize this. So basically our platform lineup is like a very simple user interface, web-based platform where our users can log in, request new data. So basically with a simple click on the screen, they request the data, being it drone data or satellite data. And currently the drone data is all done by sending humans to the field. But one of our main technology is fully autonomous drones that we intend to operate as satellites, basically meaning that we distribute a lot of drones around a given area, and they map the area multiple times a day in similar ways satellite would do it, but of course we would be flying below the cloud. And we also intend, and that was like part of the Copernicus award we got, was to combine this, so basically have satellites monitor very large areas. If they detect any changes, they can the drone can be dispatched immediately to that area. So right now we are focusing a lot on technology to extract information from our data, aerial images, 3D data, both in terms of, for example, getting the, as you can see, the picture to the right, where we can basically measure the biomass in a forest. In the picture in the middle, where we are, this is a thermal picture. We can basically see where like something is leaking into another water body.
Tryggvi, can you hear us?
So like that, we can actually change this name from the time we were in the Copernicus, and this is basically, as I mentioned before, fully autonomous drones that are connected via 5G. That has like a suite of sensors, cameras, and gas sensors, and this massive, like having like a swarm of this drones or swarmsat, we are acquiring a massive amount of data per day, where each unit can acquire 1 terabyte of data per day. And I also want to tell you, so like soon after our Copernicus awards, we also got a new European grant, a large collaboration called Energy ECS, where we want to start landing our satellites on top of public transportation, for example, buses. And this is like a big European collaboration on smart grid energy, where we have this use case of landing our drones on top of buses or any other moving vehicle. And what this enables us, of course, is that we can more easily scale, so we can have our drones travel between places on top of public transportation to map some areas. So I hope you have got like a bit of a understanding of what we are doing, and I maybe just want to go briefly into talking about the Copernicus Award and what that basically enabled us, because we really had the problem of kind of like being taken seriously, having some super grand vision with fully autonomous drones as satellites, and so that definitely was a struggle for a long time for us. And from our perspective, it was definitely the hardest challenge we were facing. But we were just very stubborn and didn't give up, and really enjoyed the ride. And but I definitely think that the Copernicus awards we got did really assist us in getting some kind of credibility to what we were doing. And after this, I definitely feel like a lot of things started rolling for us. At least we have received grants and funding, and we have also grown the company quite a lot. So today we are 12 employees, and we are hiring actually. We have offices in 2 places, and we have customers in 5 countries in Europe and Africa. And yeah, we have served over 110 clients as of today. So yeah, if you have any information or if you're looking for an exciting job, you can please contact me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Tryggvi, first of all, for the very interesting business case. I think it starts our imagination what the swarm of drones can be used for. It can become even quite scary at times. But in any case, we're very pleased to see a positive development since you won the ESA EU Future Award or Challenge. So clearly, clearly an area that the future can be seen also in your case. And thank you very much for your input on Copernicus Masters. We will talk about this later on. So we continue further with Matteo Dell'Amico, but I just want to remind all the rest speakers that we have around 7 minutes for the presentations, and then we will have time to exchange some ideas. Matteo, I will make my presenter, and just did it.
Yes. Hello, Daniela. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. I hope all our everybody in the virtual room also can, Matteo. The floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just see if you can see my screen.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Matteo Dell'Amico. I'm the CEO and founder of Mobi.js, and it's a pleasure for me also to be in this such a prestigious event, also to share my insights inside my venture and also my experience in Copernicus Master. So these are the questions that we are likely to solve in everyday mission. How much water is there and when will it become available? And these questions are particularly interesting for multiple sectors like hydropower or water utilities that use water in their daily business. However, the current way in many cases to predict water is based on simplified models just fed by historical data. Somehow they are representing in the future what was in the past. But with climate change, this is likely to let's say, incur into inefficiencies, interruptions of service, damages, or also penalties in the market. And starting from this assumption, we thought we can do more. And in fact, we developed a technology that we are now branding WaterJade that not only uses in situ data, observations, but also numerical weather predictions and satellite data. And all this data, kind of big data actually, they're feeding a modeling chain comprising physical models and machine learning. With the results that we provide a decision support system with a catchment as the variable that we are monitoring for the water, for the monitoring, for the forecast, and for the decision support. And without the installation of any equipment, without any in situ campaign, and we can provide twice as much accuracy compared with state-of-the-art techniques. And this can be scaled globally. And so where did we start? Well, this journey started back in 2017 when we realized that the water is going to become the new gold of the 21st century, and we wanted to target and improve the monitoring and prediction systems of water. And we started from above. We started from the upper part of the catchment with the snow. And in fact, we were using data, satellite data, just for the snow. Happy also to share that we also heading a consortium for snow monitoring for the Alps, funded by ESA, which is called the Alps Snow. But still, the snow is just one part of the water cycle. So we decided to move forward further. But we find out that if you have a gauged basins, so you can have in situ stations, you can have snow sensors, or you can have water sensors. But in the ungauged basins, so where no in situ installations is available, Okay, you can retrieve information with ERA5 or Meteo. On the snow, you can retrieve information from the satellite. But what about the water in the rivers? There is a vulnus, there is a missing, a vacancy. And this is why we decided to target this with the Copernicus challenge last year. And in fact, we proposed a system to monitor water discharge in rivers just with satellite data without the installation of any equipment. And it's actually, we found out that all the satellite data regarding water applications are providing just one piece of information. So Sentinel-1 is good for certain variables or for certain parameters, whereas Sentinel-2 for others and Sentinel-3 for others. And so we said, why don't we combine everything just to have a better product? And this is actually what we have suggested inside the Copernicus challenge. So we won the Blue Economy Challenge last year, and we can provide multiple benefits to our customers. So as I said, no installation, twice as much accuracy and cost savings, of course, because you don't have to install costly equipments. So our current work, what are we doing now? We are developing the technology, and we have also benefit from another, let's say, program of the Copernicus Accelerator, which is the Market Validation Lab. And we are testing this technology and finding out the best business model. So we have tractions. We are supplying the second, the third, and fourth largest hydropower companies in Italy. And also we have 2 POC with water utilities in Spain and 1 in Portugal. And also we are building interesting strategic partnerships with developers of software providers, software for water utilities, and turbine producers for hydropower. So the next steps is that we want to develop the digital twin of the catchment, and for this we're raising €1 million. I hope we'll also take the occasion to share this news, and because we want to improve the Earth observation part of the digital twin, software engineering, front-end development, and of course marketing and sales. So this is our team. We're located in northern Italy, and we are now hiring people. So if you want to join a growing team dealing with the #1 problem of this century, which is water, we are happy to hear. So thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, I just realized that I'm muted. Thank you very much, Matteo.
Thank you.
I just said that it's very good to use this kind of events also as a recruiting possibility and promoting open positions. And also your speakers prior to you also did that. So this actually shows economic growth and interest in growing, which we're very happy to be able to support with the Copernicus Masters. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I have to go ahead because we are running a little bit out of time, and I'm just looking for our next speaker. This is Roman Bukovic from DINACROP, and this is, I'm just making you a presenter, Roman. Okay, yes, I did. And this is our 2020 Czech Republic winner. We're very pleased that we also in Copernicus Masters had last year for the first time a regional partners, and this World from Space has won the Czech Republic a prize. Welcome, Roman, and the stage is yours.
Hello to everybody. I hope that you can see me, hear me, and see my presentation.
Yes, everything's fine.
So my name is Roman Bohovic. I'm co-founder and still CTO of World from Space. Actually, not the DINACROP. DINACROP is the name of our product, and the company is called World from Space. To introduce myself and ourselves a little bit, I will start with what we are doing. We are experts on Earth observation and Copernicus data. So this is our key business proposition, and we are bringing the best benefits based on satellite data and Copernicus data to different end users and system integrators. So what does it mean actually? We are launching the Dynacrop or running Dynacrop API, what is agriculture API that is enabling satellite-based products for specifically for the agriculture and the integrators. Then we are working with the data for various users that where we are using our expertise in the data in Earth observation. So we know what the data are showing, and for different clients, we are working as experts. And this is also our third part, that we are doing consulting for within the field. So also we are helping to other companies, helping other bodies, institutions, and so on. So also promoting the data and the usage of the data in the public and in the business sector as well. So this is what we are doing at the moment. So we are so-called downstream, working in the middle, that we are processing data on a cloud system. We are doing some kind of analysis and then delivering the outputs in the form of API or in the form of expert studies, depending on what kind of users or end clients we are talking. The main thing that we are doing at the moment is the Dynacrop, and this is lightweight satellite AP for digital agriculture. We are aiming to bring higher yields, easier decisions, and more joy of farming to the farmers. And we provide the API for system integrators. So we are not working directly with the farmers at the moment. We are working or we are doing B2B, working with the companies that are already delivering services to the farmers, but they are missing the expertise in satellites. So we are enabling one part of the digital agriculture that is a huge trend nowadays. We are delivering value-added products like the monitoring of the field of your crop. That is very useful for variable application that has some ecological and sustainable conclusions, and also the economical benefits for the farmers. We have the soil moisture monitoring, and we offer it as a wide level ecosystem with the support, with the consulting, with the education materials, and the new research and development in the field of using satellite data in agriculture. So this is the full package for the users that are experts in agriculture, and they do not need to focus on some other expertise that they do not have at the moment. So this is first part, but then we are also working on different kind of projects. So for example, we've been working on EO Clinic for ESA that was delivering atmosphere conditions in Ukraine, and we've been analyzing the impacts of the COVID lockdowns on the air pollution on a country scale. We've been supporting the German development program in some works in Africa, monitoring droughts and different kind of projects that we are working at the moment. So, but now I want to talk a little about how it started. This is the picture that I'm using. This is from after defending my dissertation, and I was working in research in Earth observation. I decided that I can make higher impact when I will go to the practice. So I established the startup World from Space, and I imagine that this will be some kind of rocket launch that everybody will join us and be very greedy about our services and solutions. So here is my colleague, co-founder. We've been two of us at the beginning in 2017. But actually the reality was a little bit different. We started doing our business cards just in the train on some conference, and we still was working very low cost, I would say. And then the reality check came very soon when we visited first farmers. We saw that the reality on average small farmer is very different and far. It's very distant from the digital agriculture that we have been describing it, or I was describing it a minute ago. So this was really kind of fuck up when we see that the farmers will be very difficult to acquire as a customers. However, we tried hard. Here you see the picture with previous speaker Petr Pridal, because we actually won the 2018 Copernicus Master prize, and also we did the second time the last year the national prize, and this help us to become part of community, to have a look or to see what is going on in the business, in the sector of the Copernicus data and Copernicus startups, and this networking or the networking occasions were very important for us to really set up our position within the startup market with the Earth observation. Here is the Dr. Matt project that we applied for the Copernicus Masters last year. That was satellite-driven soil moisture and soil assessment agriculture API. So this is one of the projects that is still running under our Dynacrop system. So it's a part that we are developing at the moment, but we are at the moment have the running system. So to have it in a number, so in 2017 we've been just two of us. Now we are 11 or something around 11. We had just the idea that became to be that we found out that it was wrong actually at that time. But we pivoted several times to have now the global product that is running, and we have the first paying clients there using our Dynacrop system. And also we have tens of independent projects as experts with the Earth observation and Copernicus data. And on this journey, we actually used local and European support. We've been part of the local incubation in the Czech Republic, in Brno, where we are based. We participated in hackathons first as the participants. In the last ones, or several, we've been organizers or experts that been helping the other startups to start our journey or similar journey. We won the Copernicus Masters twice, and we also been incubated as a business incubation center. So our story still going. At the moment, we are also raising money for next seed round, or for the seed round to global expansion with our project or product that is already running, and now we are really fighting hard to make it a global player. And here is our team from the last summer. Some people are missing, but that is always with remote programmers at the moment. So this was our story, and I will leave the floor for the others or for a short discussion at the end. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Roman. Very nice to see your story in such a pleasant way, always up. And also another thing I want to comment briefly, we could see that the efforts of the institutional players and also our own efforts to support entrepreneurship space-driven entrepreneurship are giving its fruits. And we could see a lot of supporting mechanisms like the ISABIX, for example, or the Copernicus hackathons or the accelerator that have been supporting your way, starting from the Copernicus Masters. It's really good to hear. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. And our last speaker is Marcel Kempers from Reefs Support. Marcel and the team, I'm just trying to, here you are, to see where you are. So I'm making you a presenter, Marcel. And Marcel, with Reefs Support and his team, was the overall winner of 2020. So Marcel, the floor is yours. Do you also have some exciting story to share with us? Yes, we can see your presentation.
Now I'm unmuted, right? Okay.
Yes, perfect.
Cool. Thank you very much, Zanella, for having me and Reef Support to present today. It's very nice to see all the other participants and really the progress they've made throughout the years with the support of Copernicus and also these business incubation centers. I think we also experience a similar trajectory. And our presentation it's a little bit on GIS, but it's a lot about marine biodiversity as well, because our team is made up of product owners, marine scientists, but also GIS specialists, because it's a conversation that we all have to have with one another, I think, to really make an impact. So we are Reef Support, and we build software to support our oceans. I have quite a lot of slides, and I'm sorry I'm speaking fast. It's like my Singapore way of doing things, but I'll try to be the Dutch, my other half, which is Dutch, and then slow down also. So I'll talk both about coral reefs and also how we use GIS in our work and also our progress throughout the years. So a little bit about coral reefs first. Coral reefs only cover 1% of the ocean's floor, but it supports over a quarter of our marine biodiversity. So everything we encounter, including the food we eat, has touched or interacted with coral reefs in one way or another. And over 1 billion people depend on coral reefs for coastal protection, food, and tourism income. Roughly 1/8 of the world's population live very close to coral reefs, so they depend on coral reefs for protection to stop from flooding, from seafood, from income as well. And also something that you might not know is that coral reefs is a source of medicine to treat cancer, leukemia, skin cancer, and heart diseases and different types of viruses. But very sad news is that over the last 30 years, we've already lost half of this incredible resource. And it's estimated by 2050 that more than 90% will be gone, which is very sad news. And that's why we are really a race against time. So how we really started was really looking at the problems with marine researchers who interact with coral reefs today and how we even begin to understand coral reefs. So coral reefs are being monitored in this way. We have a team of divers going underwater to take pictures, to take numerical data. But the problems are mainly it's very costly to send a team of divers, to scale up, to survey very complex marine ecosystems. There's about 1 to 9 million species of corals out there in the world, so it's very difficult to do research on them. And also it takes a lot of time. So for per day of dive, it takes about 7 days to analyze the data with thousands of photos. Why? Because you first have to enhance the images. And then if you see on the bottom left, there are these red dots that form on the screen. So about 20 dots per picture. And the researcher has to click on each of these red dots to match it with the species and what type of sand, coral, invertebrate, shellfish, algae, what's on the picture. And sometimes per survey, you have thousands of images. So per picture, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So you can imagine how long it takes. So what we really built, how we got started was building an artificial intelligence for marine researchers to automatically update, upload their images and reprocess to detect and classify the species and then present the results in a really scientifically clear manner. We also do something called 3D photogrammetry. So there's 4 steps to this where you build point dense clouds and you collect, basically swim in a lawnmower pattern, collect loads of pictures and then combine them in a model. So what this really results in is that marine researchers can have a baseline survey over the years, not just of 2D pictures, not just 2D data of the reefs, but 3D. And so we can look at the complexity of the colonies and how much marine biodiversity is actually returning to healthy or dying reefs. But of course, the biggest cause of coral decline is the rising sea surface temperatures and ocean acidification. So this is climate change, of course, but there are practical steps that we can take today, also using satellite data to really make an impact. So the first coral loss is, of course, algae. So when factories or agriculture is beside waters, these algae absorb the nutrients much better than corals, and then they suffocate the corals. Fishing also causes a huge problem in coral loss, pollution, plastic waste, and also if you step on reefs as a swimmer, you also destroy them. They just can't take it. So what satellite data can really do is we call it breaking the sea-land barrier. Marine researchers only look at what's happening in the water, what's happening to marine biodiversity when they dive, but more often than not, the main causes are industrial development, unsustainable aquaculture, agriculture, and human pollution. So by using satellite data and linking it to what's happening underwater, we can basically break the sea-land barrier and make practical changes today. The first thing we have to do, of course, is really to map our reefs. When we use this with a combination of satellite data and imagery, but also numerical data, sea surface temperatures, and nutrient composition to look at what part of the reef is actually healthy, bleaching, where's algae actually growing. And then if we go further and deeper with GIS, we can track the sediments and using ocean color and chlorophyll contents as well, and look at where the hotspots are. Looking at fishing activities as well, we can use AI to actually look at what kind of specifically fishing boats are in that area as well. And Global Fishing Watch is also a company that does this really well. Human monitoring is also something we're doing in the Netherlands to look at, how does human population and human movement actually change throughout the years and how that affects oyster beds. We don't have many coral reefs in the Netherlands. And lastly, of course, ESA and also Coral Island Atlas is one of the biggest partners out there that uses satellite data to track coral bleaching, which is, of course, caused by rising sea surface temperatures. But we want to take more of a human-centric approach to GIS because many of these communities, the ones that are affected by dying reefs, when reefs die, fishes don't come back, then they can't eat and they can't sell what they produce in their local regions. So we really want to connect these local groups to satellite data to make them more aware of their impact, because these guys, they don't actually know their impact, but they all have iPhones. So just giving them simple information is actually really, really important as well. That's why we take a human-centric approach. Lastly, we also use spatial data to increase the success factor of coral restoration by looking at how much corals grow in that area with spatial and also temporal domains. Just like how we want to increase the success rate of reforestation in forests, these coral reefs are basically the underwater forests of the planet. And this was our journey. So we were announced as the Copernicus Masters 2020 by Martijn Lijnweber of the Netherlands. I think he's quite famous in the business incubation Copernicus world. So we're really, really honored. That's my team, Johan on the right, Ailey on the left. Ailey's a GIS specialist and Johan is an AI developer, and you can see how pleased they were. This letters got featured on quite a few news stations, which led to different partnerships with WWF and different sort of governments looking at us to do something with satellite data, and which is really amazing. So now we're operating in Indonesia, the Dutch Caribbean, Kenya, in the Netherlands, and also in Singapore. And that is my team, and we got started just recently, actually, last month in September at the Business Incubation Center in Noordwijk, and we're really honored to be there. Currently, I'm in Milan, so I can't be there with my team, but I'll be back soon. So what Reef.io, that's our platform, that's what we call it. We invite hardware partners, so robotics, but also these marine researchers who take pictures to upload it on our platform, to select the parameter where we can give them data about sea surface temperatures and also simple maps where we can provide the data in the end to scientists, local communities, governments to create policies about, if you look at if someone wants to build a port or a harbor or a factory near a reef, and we find out that it's actually a habitat for sharks or rays, or it's the most beautiful reef in the world, do you really still want to build a harbor at that location? So this is some things that we really want to provide to the world. And so we're really helping answer the questions: is conservation and restoration working? Are we really protecting our marine protected areas? Are reefs recovering as fast as we think? Or are they dying as slow as we think? And how can we as a species help to adapt to a changing climate paired with dynamic human activities as we interact with the oceans every single day? So I would like to take this opportunity to have a call of action to all SMEs, universities and research institutes, but also local governments that can create policies that depend on and support practical action for coral reefs and oceans. So these include remote sensing groups, monitoring and research groups, hardware partners where we work with underwater robotics and also aerial drones, but also diving, coral restoration and conservation groups as we're on the lookout for these guys every single day. And thank you very much. That was a very fast and quick presentation, but I hope you enjoyed looking at some corals. Join us on our mission. You can contact us at hello@reef.support, and our website is www.reef.support. It's quite simple. All right, thank you very much and enjoy your evenings.
Thank you very much, Marcel. It was not only nice pictures, it was also a lot of consideration, and hopefully if there are more young people like yourself and the team that started, I mean, less than 1 year ago, we surprised you with the news. So well done. And it's really very inspiring to hear your story and also to see what you're doing. And it's also when you compare what sometimes it's only talked about the climate change. I think examples like yourself are hands-on on the problem, which is very much appreciated. Yes. Thank you very much. With Marcel's presentation, we finished the presentation. I'm looking at the clock, and it's actually a bit later than we anticipated initially. As I'm also obviously, unfortunately for Anna, she couldn't join, but we have a special guest today, Simon Newts from ESA, and I would like to unmute Simon if you don't mind. Here he is also with video. Hello, good evening, Simon.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh, I'm not sure your connection is very good, but we can try.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Daniela. And yeah, unfortunately, there's not much time left, but I'm always astonished about the different variety of different applications which we had in the last 10 years. Also this year we had 187 submissions, as we heard from Mr. Rudolph, and also in our ESA Digital Twin Earth Challenge we had 28 proposals, and we see there's so many ideas which ESA at its own would not think about, new application, new areas. So this is to see. And I thank you all for presenting some of your applications here. There are many more, of course, and it's really very amazing. We have always a booklet issued by ESA and AZO, which presents all the applications. So I really thank you all for this effort. And I hope the Copernicus Masters also in the future is a big success, and we can have years so many possibilities. Thank you very much, also from ESA.
Thank you very much, Simon, on behalf of ESA. Very good, and we really appreciate that you stay so late with us on this session. Indeed, the time is almost up, but I still would like to make a very short round with all our speakers, if you allow me. We are constantly thinking about how we can develop our programs and what kind of direction we would go. And we also consider companies like yourself that have passed a certain development and maybe develop from startup to scale up. We will be very interested to hear only in a brief comment, if you may, what, from your perspective, what kind of scale up directed support you would appreciate? I know some of you already mentioned that, of course, funding, but what do you think that will be really something, if you have a one wish, what would be that wish, and how potentially we at our end, but also our institutional partners like with us, Dela and Isa is with us tonight, can help, and also our industrial partners, of course. So if I can start from the beginning with Peter, just a brief comment, please.
The best is to learn new information and learn new technology. So for me, the eye-opening stuff, which was great, was getting in touch with the different scientists and starting to understand how all the space technology is put together. So that this has been success already. The other part, which would be really great, is having better open data, having higher resolution, having all this for free would make amazing splash on our side.
Yes, thank you very much, Peter, and good luck for the further development. And let's see in 2 years your old video again, how you have changed. Thank you. What about Trygve? Trygve, can you hear us? Hello? Is Trygve with us? I cannot see him. Maybe he dropped out. Okay, so we go to Matteo.
Yes. Hello, Daniela. A comment from my side is this: what early startups need to do is, I would say, two things. First is learn, and the second is try. And the learning phase goes with applications, and so it's really important for startups to have the access to pilots, to potential customers, could be also big corporates that are putting challenges. So my wish also for future startups would be that you keep on going in the direction to involving corporates or could be also public agencies to give challenges that they're facing and give them to the startup world to try to access. This is a great opportunity for learning and a great opportunity also for pivoting or for confirming ideas. And the second is, I would kindly ask you also to continue with the support you give in money with the Copernicus incubation and etc., because also this is an important source of let's say of funding and of life for the startups that they I think in our case was really appreciated.
Yes, thank you very much, Matteo. The first point you made was related also to matchmaking with corporates, right? To matchmake between and to open doors to the corporate world and to the challenges that they face and give an opportunity to startup to work on that, correct? Did I understand?
Yes, but the matchmaking sometimes can become a little bit difficult to do because it's difficult in one meeting, to express the full potential of what you do and to understand the need. What I was asking is that first the corporates or the agencies define their own challenges in a rational way, like a written study, etc., so that the startups can read and have an idea of what their needs are and try to propose. When you do the matchmaking, they can go in the proposal phase, not just in the introduction phase.
Yes, I got it. Yes, thank you very much. Very good ideas. Thank you very much, and good luck to you as well. I'm sure we will meet on another occasion soon as in the past.
Thank you, Daniela.
We go to Roman. So Roman, what do you think out of your experience? You have collected quite a lot of experience in different stages of supporting mechanisms from institutional support.
Yes, definitely these supporting mechanisms are very helpful for us or for any startup, as mainly as a networking opportunity and also to supporting like the development. What I'm missing or would help also is to support somehow the procurement process, because we all are talking that we rise or grow up from the startups, and we are still startups. But once it comes to procurement from the national, governmental, or institutional partners, then we are all too small to compete. So this is the problem that we are facing going into the big deals. It's different to overcome this barrier that you are still startup with few people and you are not eligible for most of the real businesses. So this I found the most tricky part for us at our stage, that to grow further than we need to get much bigger, and to promote somehow the more risk that even institutions are able to take to support the local ecosystems or the companies that are around. So this is something that I would suggest that would be nice for us startups.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you very much, Roman. This is a topic that I think the big institution like ESA have realized in the meantime, and maybe on the closing remarks, maybe Simon will touch on this. But I think that your message has been heard by big institutional players, and things are slowly changing. So this is good. But thank you very much for your feedback, and also good luck to you. And greetings to Brno if you're there, with
you.
a nice, very appreciated beer in that part of Europe. So we go to Milan, but actually not. Marcel, how about you? What would you say?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think in terms of business development, there's only so much Copernicus and ESA can do for you. I think it's really up to the entrepreneur to look outwards other ways. But I think my GIS specialist would kill me if I don't ask for more open data. I think that's the one thing. Most of the time, what my engineers are doing is scripting, trying to scrape data from different places. And when we want to go to a new location in a new part of the world, then it's an opportunity also to raise funding from the government. Hey, do you have data about how many factories you've built in this year? But I think building a more comprehensive database and more open source of data would be amazing. Copernicus Marine Service has done a great job. I think in the next few years, it'll definitely accelerate a lot faster, I think.
Yes, thank you very much, Marcel. Thank you, all of you. Trygve has not come back, I would assume, just to check. No, unfortunately not. So, Günther, what do you think from your perspective? Maybe you have a final words. I think it
I
was
don't know
very
whether
exciting.
you can hear me because I had a noise in. Okay, that's fine. I like to pick up what mentioned, this phase where you get prices, you start off very euphoric and you are engaged. And then it was, I think, what the business guys call the valley of death. So you start with a few guys and then you realize, wow, to get to a really big company, it needs finance, it needs people. And then customers come and say, look here, can you do this big job for me? And you say, no, I haven't the people, I haven't the finance. So in this curve of business development and development, I guess this is named the valley of death. And for all the startups, this is the most important period to pass this valley of death. I don't know think there is a golden recipe for this. This is just a challenge for everyone. Some will not survive this. This is absolutely clear. I mentioned in my speech that we have many, many better chances now than 10 years ago to survive this valley of death. And yes, it's an issue of ESA, of RZO, of DLR, and of many, many guys to help these entrepreneur and startup companies to cross this valley of death. And the other final word, and even if you didn't make it, it's not a pity and it's not a shame to don't make a company happening with your ideas. I think we need also in Europe a better entrepreneurial spirit. Some people say this is different in the United States. You can only make a new company if you have crashed down 3 other companies. This is not yet the case in the spirit of European entrepreneurs and finance guys. But let's go for it. So cross the valley of death, and if you don't make it, don't care, start another company. That's my final word. Maybe not.
Thank you very much, Gunther. Thank you very much for your input and also for being with us so late. I realized it's getting late. Simon, last words from your side. Your connection was not very good last time, I'm not sure, but let's try again.
I unfortunately didn't get all contributions. I changed the network in the meantime because I can choose between going through Eswin and staying on my house website. This may be better. I can only we will do to mitigate all the company to have a start up and then to develop your business. I think I will also have a word, I think, with Thorsten Rudolph to see what we do in the future to follow up also all the participants, not only the winners. So in this sense, yes, we are working on this. And I hope your future all the best. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, we heard you a bit difficult, but
Daniela,
maybe you can switch off your
hear me?
video. Maybe you can switch off your video to reduce the bandwidth usage, and we can only hear you. But because indeed it's a bit difficult. But what we heard is that you were saying that Isa and you personally would like to work on ways to continue supporting not only the winners but also all reasonable submissions to Copernicus Masters. This is what we heard. Can you hear us still?
Yes, I hear you. Well, yeah. Yes, exactly. We are trying to identify also accelerators and how we can bridge this valley of death to really help you also with other tools.
Yes. Yeah, we will be very pleased to continue working closely with you and with DLR and with all our other partners on that was actually one of the reasons why I asked this question, because we have realized that so many successful cases like what we saw tonight are out there, but the life doesn't stop and then all things develop. So we have to continue supporting, and thank you very much, everybody. I would like to ask Thorsten Rudolph for last maybe greeting from himself. Thorsten, would you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, Simon, we have a list of, I would say, around about 300 companies from the Copernicus Masters, and 100 of them have already presented. So there are a lot of stories, also success stories, bigger companies or smaller companies, but this is really a huge portfolio of Earth observation companies, and I believe we could fill 2 weeks of presentations like this to show them all. And I would say this is very interesting to see also the diversity of applications and business cases. And MapTyler is a wonderful business case, how to scale up and how to involve millions, hundreds of millions of developers. This is unbelievable. But also the other topics like coral reef monitoring is so important. So we have always applications, more business-related applications, but other applications are more related to society and climate change. So this makes the whole bandwidth of the Earth observation downstream sector. And we are really looking forward, and I want to express my thanks to all of you. To Isa for the support during the last 10 years, and also to DLR. Gunther, you have been involved, as you already said, over the last 10 years, and you also supported a lot of partners, I believe more or less partners from universities and research institutes, and you cooperate with these institutions to create or come up with new solutions and technologies. I believe there's always a cooperation between research, industries, small and medium-sized companies, and I believe this makes the Copernicus Masters really a value also in the future. And as we already mentioned, through the support of business incubation centers like the ESA BICS in Europe, but also other acceleration programs. Yeah, we hope to help you to not fall into the valley of death and to come up with new opportunities and perspectives. So yeah, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. I don't know when we will have the next live event where we can meet each other. I don't know if you will be at the EIAC in Dubai or somewhere else, but hopefully we will see us soon. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. With this, I would like to wish you a very nice evening. I'm sure we will meet again one way or another. And it was a pleasure to have you on this session. Good luck to everybody, and let's stay in touch. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.